finally now prank na Inec chairman prank Tinubu. Yes, because case never starts. More than 500 lawyers don dey drag you dey go court. Baba Tinubu, I'm sorry. I wan show una one of the greatest and dangerous Inec wey we get for Kaduna State. Anything wey make this man become Inec chairman, Nigeria, we are doomed. In short, we are finished. Just watch am first, watch am.
How can Peter Obi win any election? Peter Obi is polling 1% in Sokoto, 2% in Katsina, 5% in Kano. That's why the votes are. All states are not equal. The fact that you are doing 70% in Anambra State does not mean somebody doing 10% in Kano is not better than you. The number of votes in Anambra is the size of one local government in Kaduna State. So all states are not equal. If you poll states and you make them equal, yes, Peter Obi will sweep the southeastern states. He will do well in South-South. Where else? He's not polling well in Southwest, other than a drop in the ocean in Lagos. He is polling in the Christian enclaves in the north. He's polling well, but how many are they? Peter Obi cannot win the election. He doesn't have the number of states. He doesn't have 25% in more than, the last time we checked, in more than 16 states. He can't go anywhere. Peter Obi is a Nollywood actor, and that's all he will be.
Major candidates in the elections are already complaining, and we had one say the other week that you don't have the capability to transmit the vote once they have voted, to transmit the results electronically.
Well, I don't know who
database.
I don't know who said so, but look at what we have done. We did the pilot in August 2020 at Nasarawa State in central Nigeria when we conducted a by-election in state constituency. And since then, we piloted the transmission of results in 105 constituencies nationwide, including major governorship elections. We did it in Anambra, we did it in Ekiti and Oshun, we also did it in the Federal Capital Territory. Now, some of them may be small elections in the Nigerian context, but the state with the least number of registered voters in places where we transmitted election results is Ekiti. But Ekiti has more registered voters than Gambia and Cape Verde put together. So we are happy with the pilot that we have conducted, and we are reasonably confident in the strength of the processes.
I mean, even in rural areas.
The machine on election day doesn't rely on the internet to accredit voters. It works offline. Now, when it comes to transmission of results, that's why you need network. But if there is no network in the immediate vicinity, the scanned image of the polling unit level results, which is taken using the beavers, will be transmitted as soon as the staff move from the polling units to the collection centers. And we have been working with the major telecom companies in Nigeria, and we are satisfied that the number of blind spots can be addressed in the country, and the number of blind spots where you have no network is really small.
The courtroom is filled to capacity as the candidates of the Labour Party and some officials of the party walk into the Court of Appeal, venue of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, to witness proceedings of the day. After a 2-hour delay, the court delivered its ruling on the 3 applications before it. First, it's dismissed objections by the Labour Party and its presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, seeking to restrain Inec from reconfiguring the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, used for the presidential election. In dismissing the objections by Labour Party and Mr. Obi, the court held that the backup files on the server cannot be lost and that restraining Inec will affect the forthcoming governorship elections. In another ruling, the tribunal upheld its earlier order directing Inec to allow Mr. Obi and Labour Party to inspect all the electoral materials used in the conduct of the presidential election, as the tribunal assures the applicants that information contained on Inec's BVAS machines cannot be lost or tampered with. The tribunal, in another unanimous decision, ordered Inec to grant the president-elect, Senator Bola Tinubu, access to sensitive materials used for the presidential election. The 3-man panel, led by Justice Joseph Ike, said it was satisfied that there was merit in Senator Tinubu's request to have access to the electoral materials to enable him defend his election. Although counsels to Inec and Senator Tinubu were not available for comment, the lawyer to Mr. Obi believes the ruling of the tribunal is a step in the right direction.
Inec filed an application seeking to vary those orders, particularly as it relates to the server, Beaver's machine. Luckily for us today, the court refused to vary that order. That order is sustained and remains. In another ruling, the court was of the view that they are given the back-end server, which INEC undertook to provide to secure those materials, that order is partly sustained. Those initial orders are partly sustained. But in all, the good news is that the initial order of the court made on the 3rd of March, permitting Peter Obi and Labour Party to inspect the facilities of INEC, including the Beaver's machine, which they intend to use to prove their petition. Those orders are sustained.
As the tribunal prepares to commence sitting over the February 25 presidential election, the Labour Party and the All Progressives Congress are hopeful of victory.
It will mar the process and may delay the conduct of the elections.
What they are actually seeking to do is to wipe out that vital physical evidence, which is the most reliable evidence of accreditation data. And if that is wiped out, then all the petitions will be in jeopardy.
Is INEC waking up today to know that they need the Beaver's machine flushed in their language so that they will reconfigure it? Were they not aware of this when they planned the timetable and said the governorship and the House of Assembly election will take place 2 weeks after the presidential election?
They have not even shown from their application how long will it take them to inspect and come up with whatever they want to come up with it. So you could see that, I don't know the intention, but we have a constitutional responsibility that is to conduct the governorship and state houses of assembly election, or else will run into constitutional crisis.
The president-elect, Senator Bola Tinubu, is also seeking an order to access sensitive materials used by INEC to enable him prepare his defense against petitions that will seek to nullify his election.
They never elect you as INEC chairman. See the kind of speech word from your mouth to come outside. You call your fellow man Nollywood actor. Yes, I will go teach you how to act movie. Anyway, more than watch Peter Obi again in courts. See all the old lawyers. The way this case they go so, any lawyer will go talk say he won't defend INEC chairman or Papa Tinubu, that lawyer is demonic, because the difference is clear. We vote for the right candidate, we vote for our choice, but we won't change her for body lights. See, I tell you now, we Nigeria now, we pass through a lot of our life now, we they suffer the hardship. Now APC they rule us now, we are going small. We they die in silently. So we don't want to get this time around the power of actually change hand. Don't be by force. You put upon yourself say you go rule us and see it. Now your brother, your junior brother, ring up for you. You see also wickedness of a woman form. No, see anything we do for this our life now, God go ask us. Allah go ask us. They be careful. Politicians be careful.